It's a beautiful Thursday. If you're seeing me on YouTube, you can see the glare behind me. You can still see my forehead. You can still see my face, but there's a little bit of a glare behind me in the window on the camera on YouTube just because it's just a beautiful day outside. Beautiful Thursday. We're rocking it here in Lincoln, Illinois. And we got a lot to unpack on this episode of Pigskin Frenzy on episode 126, NFL episode. So it's going to be a lot to unpack. We are beginning in the phase of off-season workouts, as in OTAs. We're starting our OTAs. A lot of holdouts, a lot of teams reporting for OTAs. We have the latest on the Rashee Rice situation, and I don't want to go through this. I did not want to go through this, but everybody's been telling me and commenting on me, when are you going to talk about the situation at the graduation ceremony with Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker? We're going to talk about it. You're going to give you my thoughts most likely at the end of this episode. So stick right here. Keep plugging into Pigskin Frenzy. Welcome to Pigskin Frenzy, by the way, on this wonderful and beautiful Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joel Norris, and whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, listening on Podbean or Apple, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, and Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy, follow, like the pages on there. You will get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL trivia question, as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you will find all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. There's a home and about me page. You can learn more about me and who I am in this podcast and as your podcast host for Pigskin Frenzy. There's a platforms page where I just mentioned all the platforms that I just mentioned. There's also more than that. Go and click on the platform that you feel best and you feel comfortable with. We're listening to Pigskin Frenzy on, as well as our affiliations page with our proud partner from the Beard Club. Guys, if you want an excellent shave to look good and, just to present yourself right? Go to the Beard Club. The Beard Club is, one of the best things that helps you makes yourself look good as a man. Significant others to your male counterpart, you're not going to be disappointed with those products and how your man looks. Guys and people listening to my show, you're not going to be disappointed. There's a loofah, there's a boar bristle brush, there's beard and face wash, beard balm, beard oil, a beard grooming kit is what I'm mainly targeting with this partnership. You name it, 15% off at the Beard Club. Go to my website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. Click on the affiliations page. There, you will click on the logo, and it will take you to the Beard Club website. Go to my link tree as well, X, Instagram, and Facebook. Click on my link tree is on the bio of all those pages. Click on the link tree. They'll take you to my link tree. Then you will go click on the Beard Club link, and it will take you to the Beard Club. You can get your products through those links and websites. Guys, the Beard Club, proud partner of Pigskin Frenzy. It is going to help your Beard Club need, or your facial hair needs and your grooming needs to be met with the Beard Club. So thank you to the Beard Club for being our proud partner of the show. Guys, NFL day today. Let's rock and roll. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to get through this episode. May not be the longest episode. Like I said, I keep saying that because it's the off season, right? It's the off season. It may not be hour-long episodes like it was during the football season. It may. Who knows? How long I can talk about what's going on during the off season? But it's a busy off season still. But I may not go on for it may last only 30 to 35 minutes. So let's see. You may get one of those episodes today. You may get an episode where it's 45 minutes. Who knows? But let's talk about the all-season workouts before we go on to the Rashee Rice and Harrison Butker stuff. I've been getting a lot of messages about the Harrison Butker thing, and people have been asking me, Joel, are you going to talk about this? Are you going to discuss this? How do you feel about this? And I'm gonna save it for the end of the episode, but I did just kind of avoid it as best as I could. I tweeted something out about it, and we'll get to that later on in the show as well. But I only did one thing about it because I try to dodge it because I try to talk about what's happening on the field. I mean, you got to talk about what's happening off the field during the offseason stuff, like with the Rashee Rice stuff and everything. But I try to see it from the on-field perspective and how it's going to affect the on-field perspective. So we're going to get to that here in a little bit and, talk about that at the end of the episode. Let's talk about OTAs, the beginning of OTAs, rather. We went through rookie mini camp, the small mini camps. Now OTAs are starting where all players are starting to do drills and the veterans are starting to come in now and work out and just talk about, who's reporting where. The Detroit Lions, an update on them, like we did last week. They reported to OTAs, Jared Goff running drills, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, all those guys have contract extensions, big money contracts. They are not going anywhere. They're happy to where they're at, and they're ready to ball out for the Detroit Lions. They look good running their drills. They're trying to redeem from what happened last season. As I'm rocking the blue here, guys, Detroit. But they are trying to redeem for what happened last season at the NFC Championship game. They are trying to right that wrong this season. And let's see what Dan Campbell and company have up their sleeve in OTAs. They all look good. They all look physical, and they're all working out. They're ready to rock and roll. That's a small update on the Detroit Lions. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals for a little bit. They look ready to rock and roll. They're running drills. They look good as well. Joe Burrow is looking great. I warned y'all about that a few weeks ago. They look good. They are throwing. They are ready to rock and roll. He's healthy, and that's a bad sign for anybody that's facing him in the 2024 NFL season. A healthy Joe Burrow with a solid offensive line could spell doom for a lot of teams out there in the NFL. That's a small update on the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's talk about the Dolphins really quick, because this one's interesting. The Dolphins are interesting. They're running drills. They're feeling pretty good. Tua, and this is going to talk about, going hand-to-hand with the OTA holdouts. There's a lot of holdouts. There's quite a big few of holdouts. He's not one of them, actually, which is surprising. He is trying to get in line to a contract extension, but he is not holding out. They are trying to figure out what's going on with his contract. If they can work out a big deal for him. He has lost 10 to 15 pounds during this offseason. 10 to 15 pounds. And he's reported to OTAs. He did that so he can be more mobile, more agile, and have better escapability when linemen or safeties or anybody on defense is coming after him to try to sack him or tackle him. So he's trying to, get more accuracy and get some agility on him to escape big time, pressure. So good on Tua, good on him for doing that and making sure that that helps his play style better. And that's a really good thing to have. He lost 10, 15 pounds. He's ready to rock and roll. He is throwing really well. All the receivers are there. Tyreek Hill's there. Waddle's there. Everybody's looking good. Keep an eye out for first-round draft pick Chop Robinson. I think Chop Robinson could be – he's already looking doing good and impressing the team there on the defensive side of things. He could be a force to be reckoned with in the 2024 season. He could be an underrated choice for defensive rookie of the year. Chop Robinson could. He looked really, really solid for the Dolphins in drills. Today, yesterday, and today for for Miami. So let's see what's going on with Miami. That was we'll see what happens with the contract situation with Tua. Chop Robinson, all those guys on defense, all those guys on offense as well. They look good. They look solid, and they are ready to rock and roll. That was the Miami Dolphins. Let's talk about another one in the AFC, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Interesting take here. They are trying to get a long-term deal done for quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, who also has reported to OTAs. He is not held out as far as I know. He is reported and he is ready to rock and roll. As far as I know, that Trevor Lawrence is not holding out. He's going to be reporting to OTAs. So Trevor Lawrence, they're trying to get a long-term deal done for him. They're working really hard for it. They're all in on him, all in on the former number 1 overall draft pick in the 2021 NFL draft. A deal that could be a long-term deal that exceeds over $50 million. So $50 million annually for Trevor Lawrence. So good on Trevor. if he gets the deal done. That we're going to have to wait and see what happens. That's the biggest thing coming out of their offseason workouts and their offseason. Just now, at least one of the biggest things now is to try to get this deal done with Trevor Lawrence. So let's see what happens there. I'm excited to see what's going on with Trevor Lawrence. I'm excited to see what happens with Trevor and the rest of the Jacksonville Jaguars as they get the deal done, and they look good on defense as well. Their line has improved. They're running drills with their line. They look good on the defensive line. I really like seeing what's going on there with them. So defensive line looks good for the Jaguars. They're trying to get a deal done with Trevor Lawrence. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's my small update on the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. Let's talk about two more teams and two more holdouts before we go on to the Kansas City Chiefs with Rashee Rice and the Harrison Butker situation for the NFL. So let's talk about two big holdouts. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, big-time offensive lineman in the 2020 NFL Draft, came from Iowa, Tristan Wirfs, who won a Super Bowl with the team after Tom Brady went there, helped guard Tom Brady, has been helping out Baker Mayfield a lot. He is not reported to OTAs. He is holding out in hopes of a big-money contract on the O-line. Mike Evans got a big-money contract on offense. Baker Mayfield got a big-money contract on offense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're trying to figure out where Tristan Wirfs fits into the equation. He has been a solid all-pro offensive lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the past 4 to 5 years. And he has been really, really well done really, really well for this team and has given everything for this team. I think that he has certainly earned a bigger contract and a bit of a pay raise for what he has done in hopes of, helping out Tom Brady get another Super Bowl and helping Tampa Bay bring a Super Bowl home in the 2020 season. And not only that, he's helped out Baker Mayfield replacing Tom Brady, and he's been in the playoffs all 4 years and helped out and been a kind of a leader and a true workhorse of that O-line. So it'd be a tough blow if he is not there, and this could go on until training camp. So if he's not there and this lasts until training camp, it's a tough blow for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in my honest estimate. It really is. I mean, he's a solid workhorse, very physical, helped out Baker Mayfield a lot in avoiding pressures and sacks. So I think that this would be a helpful thing for Baker Mayfield and for the rest of the O-line is if they can get a deal worked on with Tristan Wirfs. The OTAs are going good for the Buccaneers as well. They look good running drills. I think that's just the big note there in the OTAs is Tristan Wirfs and him holding out in OTAs. So that's one thing there going on. And last but not least on the OTAs and the OTA holdouts, update from the Minnesota Vikings. They're running drills well. They're doing good. They're very physical. Dallas Turner is impressing a lot of people. J.J. McCarthy is still trying to develop under their scheme and their system, but he'll get there. And they believe in him, and they believe he'll get there as well. One big name that is not at Minnesota Vikings OTAs, that's wide receiver and star wide receiver Justin Jefferson. He has been there for the past 4 to 5 years. He wants a bigger contract. He wants to get a big-time contract. He wants to reset the market for wide receivers. And it's turned into one of those things where you're going to have to get something done. You're going to have to find a way to keep Justin Jefferson with the Minnesota Vikings and get him a big money contract. He wants to stay. You're just going to have to get him a bigger money contract for him. He is the 2022 Offensive Player of the Year. He is, one of the best. He's turned himself within the 4 to 5 years the best receiver in this league, and he is a true threat outside slot. You name it. He's an all-around receiver who can do damage on all sides of the field. And it's one of those things where you're going to need him. You're going to need him for sure this season. With Jordan Addison even there, you're still going to need Justin Jefferson there. So Jets, you're going to have to give him a big-time contract. And you're going to have to see if it works out for him for the Vikings. So let's see what happens. That's my update on the Minnesota Vikings. Jets, you need to bring him here before it turns into a problem. It's kind of like Saquon a little bit. if you don't do what the Giants did with Saquon. Don't just keep it there. Don't talk about it and just let it go. Because if you let it go, like you did with Saquon, he's going to end up walking out your door. And that is what you don't want if you're the Minnesota Vikings, to get rid of the best wide receiver in this league. So you have that guy on your team. You need him on your team. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Don't do what the Giants did with Saquon. That is my honest thoughts on that situation. That's the update on the Minnesota Vikings and their OTAs. And that was the OTA holdouts and the big OTA holdouts. Before we actually move on from the OTA holdouts, let's talk about the New York Jets for a little bit. The New York Jets and OTAs, they've reported for OTAs, Robert Saleh is feeling good, especially about quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He's especially feeling good about him. He is unrestricted, no restrictions on him. He's full go in drills. He'll be full go for training camp. And he's not hurt. He's healthy. He's ready to rock and roll for this season and right that wrong of, redeeming himself from that Achilles injury from last season in week 1 of the 2023 NFL season. So he's ready to rock and roll. He's ready to go. He's ready to play ball, and he is throwing the ball well. Him and Garrett Wilson are cooking up something special. Him and the receivers are starting to click as well. Jason Brownlee is a guy to keep an eye on at receivers. He's impressing a lot of scouts in New York and a lot of teams, and not really scouts, but a lot of coaches and staff in New York. So just keep an eye out for Jason Brownlee, as he could be a big part of that offense in training camp going into the 2024 season. So that's the update on the Jets, and that is what's been going on with New York, and a small update on OTAs for New York. So that's just really a small update on everything going on with the OTA holdouts, the offseason workouts, and the OTAs in general. Let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs, and it goes with along the lines of OTAs and what's going on there, but let's talk about Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. Big updates on Rashee Rice. I said I was going to have updates on him as, we found out more, and we did find out more. So let's talk about what's going on with him. Number one, he is reported to OTAs. He is there at OTAs. He is all full go. It's not virtual. He is there. He's full go in Kansas City. He's participating. He is running the drills. He's full go in the practices, in the offseason workouts for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's one. Number two, the photographer assault charges. The assault charges on the photographer and the nightclub photographer in Texas. The photographer has dropped all charges. So there's no more charges being on that case for Rashee Rice. So now all Rashee Rice is dealing with legally is the multi-vehicle crash site now. So that's the only thing he's dealing with. He was dealing with those two things. One of those is gone. Now he's dealing with the multi-vehicle crash stuff again. So that's the only thing that he's dealing with right now. But Rashee Rice, you already know my thoughts on Rashee Rice. Hopefully everything gets cleared up. Hopefully he redeems himself and gets a second chance. He matures a little bit, improves his worth to the Kansas City Chiefs, improves his worth as a player off and on the field, and represents his brand well. So that's what the big thing is for Rashee Rice. That's the big thing for me with him, and I hope that he proves himself and proves his worth to the Kansas City Chiefs and that organization. Really nothing much else to say on that. Besides that, I mean, if you want to give another small update on OTAs, even though I already did, he's doing well with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are running drills well. They are, practicing, getting ready to warm up and doing drills and running stuff through. So that's pretty much it, really. The only one that I would keep an eye out with is if this bleeds into training camp, would probably be Xavier Worthy if he comes to Chiefs OTAs. Xavier Worthy is still having a little bit of a tougher time than expected. Honestly, I thought he was going to be an immediate impact, but he's dropping a few footballs. He's he's playing okay. He's running drills okay, but it's not to what they expected. But that can change during the training camp and during the season. Just give it time, give him chemistry, and give him an offseason to work out on it, and let him have, see he can have a good rookie season with this team. So let's see what happens with Xavier Worthy. That was a Rashee Rice update. Not a too big of an update on Rashee Rice, but that's the latest on him. If there's any more coming out on Rashee Rice, we'll talk about it. And we will discuss what's going on with Rashee Rice. That is the latest on Rashee Rice. That was the latest on OTAs. OTA holdouts, all the good stuff during the off season, and that is the latest update on everything with that. So got through pretty much all of our episode besides one thing. All of our episode is pretty much wrapped up with for this podcast, but except for one thing. We'll have the next 10, maybe if it goes on longer, 15 minutes now of this episode. And let's talk about what's going on with Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker. Now, we're going to think about this for a little bit, and let's talk about this and just dive deep into this. Harrison Butker. Again, I'm going to say what I said the first part of the episode. I did not really want to talk about this, honestly, but it's too much to bear. It's going to get, in a way, I'm just going to be real. It's kind of getting under my skin a tiny bit. And usually I don't get mad or aggravated, but this I can't let slide. And I'm not going to let slide. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to dive deep into it. Yes. Harrison Butker, kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. I tweeted out, and I told you about the tweet I tweeted out. And you know what? Before we get to the tweet, let's talk about what happened. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker was at a graduation ceremony. It's for a Catholic college, as as we look at where the school was. I apologize for Benedictine College. It's a Catholic college, and he was doing a commencement speech, and he was talking about his faith and talking about what's going on in the United States of America today. Talking about the COVID stuff, just a lot of stuff, pride, touched on, what's going on in Washington, a lot of this stuff going on in the world today, just touching on it a little bit in the speech. A lot of it targeted, everyone was saying targeting women, and that's what they got from the speech. I listened to the speech. I listened to it. I think that, first off, we here at Pigskin Frenzy, we're not going to sit here and say love women. We do love women. We love women of all types. We support women in roles, and we support women here doing sports. We support women doing anything they want to. We support in that all in everything. In a way, I think what Harrison Butker said about women got taken out of context. He's got a wife. He's got a family of his own. And he loves his wife. He loves his family. I think he supports strong women, and he thinks women should have equal rights. He's not saying that, but more of a traditional role for women that relates to his faith. That is what he is talking about. If you don't know Harrison Butker, he's a Catholic. Obviously, he's a Catholic. That's why he's there at a Catholic graduation speech in college. So he's talking about more traditional women roles related to his faith. That's what he is talking about, okay? And here's my honest thoughts on the whole thing. I tweeted out, and he receives a lot of backlash for all this, by the way. That's the whole point of this. He received a lot of backlash for what he said at the speech, touching on, he's a women hater, all this. It got taken out of context. It really did. It got taken out of context, like everything does. Got taken out of context. He supports women. He does. It's not about he hates women. No, it's not about that. I'm sure he supports women. Obviously, he's married. He has a family. He loves his wife. He is a guy that is like I said, believes in what he believes in. Anything that has to do with Christianity and religion gets attacked now, or mainly Christianity gets attacked now. It really does. It gets attacked, and it shouldn't get attacked. I'm a Christian myself. So I believe that Jesus Christ is the Lord of all right? He is the, one true king. I believe in Jesus. So amen to that. I'm not ashamed. I'm not going to sit there and say it, and not be afraid to say that on my podcast. It's my podcast. I'm going to say it. So, yeah. Everybody has beliefs. Everybody has beliefs on, anything. Harrison Butker is not going to go around and say, you're wrong for doing this. It's his beliefs. It's his beliefs on what he believes. If he believes he believes that Jesus is his Lord and Savior, he believes that in his heart. As much as everybody, like including me, wants people to get to know Jesus, there's going to be a lot of people that don't know the Lord. So when you look at Harrison Butker and his speech, honestly, he believes in what he believes in. That's what I'm going to keep saying. He does. Honestly, I'm going to just tell you this now. I agree with what Harrison Butker. I agree with Harrison Butker and not really what he said. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say what he said and all that. I believe that what he said and how he defended his faith. I love that. I love that Harrison Butker defended his faith. I stand with Harrison Butker on that. That's one. I stand with Harrison Butker because he believes in what he believes in, and he's not going to be ashamed of it. That's what I also stand with Harrison Butker in. A lot of people taking it out of context. He's not going around saying that, oh, you can't believe in this, you can't believe in that, women are this. He's not saying any of that. Everybody has taken it so far out of context that they're not even, they're kind of just looking at the picture and reading cliff notes of the article of what people are posting now, and they're not even watching what he said. They're not even listening to what he said on the speech. And I think that's a big problem. I'm not going to sit there and say, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't believe in that. Everybody's going to believe in what they believe in. I'm not judging anyone. But it is unfair to judge Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker on what he believes in because you don't believe in it. He's not judging everybody else for their beliefs, but because he believes in Jesus is his Lord and Savior, you are going, and just like me, you're going to judge. You're going to judge him for that. I don't believe in that. I don't like that at all. See, that's what gets me triggered. I don't like that. And here's what also gets me triggered. There's petitions from people to get the Chiefs to release him. No. Why would you release him? Here's my deal. Personal beliefs are personal beliefs. This has nothing to do with football. Remember when I said earlier on the episode, I said we have to leave it on the field. And that's what I'm saying. Leave it on the field. Let's talk about it. Has nothing. There's off-season stuff has off to do with off-brand stuff and your brand as a person, right? That's off the field. But what does that have to do with on the field? What does personal beliefs have to translate to on the field and how he kicks a field goal, how he's automatic from 50 yards down the field, how he's automatic on kickoffs? What does it have to do with football? Why does he have to lose his job? He's a top 2 kicker in the league. With Justin Tucker. He's automatic. You place him at 50 yards. He's making it. He's helped Chiefs win football games. He helped them win the Super Bowl against the Eagles in Super Bowl 57. But he's going to get released over his own beliefs. Why? This has nothing to do with football. Absolutely nothing. I'm just saying, I get irritated with that stuff. It has nothing to do with football. And it shouldn't have anything to do with football. It's his own personal beliefs. If he believes it, it's a free country. He believes what he believes in. Freedom of speech. And you know what? People have the right to get mad at it. They want to get mad at it, they can get mad. That's their free right. But at the same time, cutting him, a guy that's one of the top 2 kicker in the league behind Justin Tucker, cutting a man and releasing him from a team that helps you win games over his own personal beliefs? That's not free country, man. And that gets me aggravated. It really does. That's not right. It shouldn't be that way. I'm standing with him on that because I think that it's his own personal beliefs. He's not judging any. He is believing in his own beliefs. Everybody has the right to believe what they want to believe. Everybody does. That's what free will is. The Lord gave us free will, and that's what free will is. Patrick Mahomes supported Harrison Butker by being a good teammate and saying, hey, he's a good teammate, and we're going to stick by him because he's our teammate. Coach Andy Reid has also said the same thing. He is still with us. He is, supportive. We're supporting him. He's our teammate, and we're going to stick by him because he's on the team for the Kansas City Chiefs. You got to be good teammates. You got to be a good community. You got to leave it on the field. It's about football. And you can't make this about football. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, we're playing football. And you can't make, let's cut him because of his personal beliefs. You can't do that, man. You cannot do that. You can't cut someone over their personal beliefs. That's not football. If you cut a person, if you release a person from an organization, they have to do something really, really bad, okay? Really, really bad. That makes your brand look bad. That's one. Or two, that's an off-season thing or off the field issue. If you do something really, really bad to make your team look bad, off the field issue that's really bad that you just can't ignore, I agree with releasing him, okay? I agree with that. But two, if they are not living up to the performance on the field, that is why you should cut him. If Harrison Butker just keeps bombing and bombing every week, costing them games for missing field goals, then you're going to have to go another route. That's football. But you got to make it about the game. At the end of the day, personal beliefs has nothing to do with football. Nothing. It's a game at the end of the day. You cannot release somebody because of what they believe in. Hands down. I don't agree with that. That's my thoughts on it. I didn't really want to get into it. I'm sorry for going on a rant, but this stuff has got to stop. We got to leave it on the field. We got to make it about football. We cannot just release somebody and call for somebody's head about their personal beliefs. That has nothing to do with football. It really is aggravating. It really is. It has to do more with football. That's my honest thoughts on it. I'm sorry for going on a rant. I love all you guys for tuning in and listening. I love everybody. I am a Christ follower. I'm not ashamed to say that, and I won't be ashamed ever to say that. I pray for everybody each day. But at some point, the line has got to draw from personal beliefs and the game of football. And we got to leave it, draw a line in the sand, and on the other side of the sand has to be one thing, and the other side of the sand has to be the other. And I think that is what football has to be with personal beliefs. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying for the whole thing. So, again, that's my honest thoughts on the Harrison Butker thing. I did not want to talk about it. I think everybody has the right to believe in what they want to believe in, but leave him alone, man. Just leave him alone. I mean, really, just leave him alone. Don't call for his head over his personal beliefs, because at the end of the day, football is football. It has nothing to do with personal beliefs, man. It's not personal beliefs has nothing to do with how he's going to kick a 50-yard field goal down the field. So that's just my honest thoughts. Let me guys know what you think about it. We can talk, but I really didn't want to talk about it a whole lot, and I'm probably not going to post a whole lot about it unless something big and drastic happens, but that's all I got to say, really, about my honest thoughts with the Kansas City Chiefs kicker situation with Harrison Butker and the Sweet situation. So we are out of time. A big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow, like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL question, as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, check out the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. I hope you have a great weekend. And remember, like I said on this show at the end of this episode, I'm not trying to go on a rant, but when this stuff it bleeds into football, it kind of irritates me a little bit, and I can't ignore it sometimes. I probably won't talk about it much again, but that's just my honest thoughts on everything. Guys, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll be back Tuesday. Tune in Tuesday. Going to be a great episode Tuesday. It's our last bit of spring football coverage. We got Arizona, Washington, Nebraska, and Colorado on the latest round and the last round of spring football results. And our last bit of spring football coverage is concluding this Tuesday coming up. You're not going to want to miss this Tuesday's episode, or college football edition of Pigskin Frenzy Tuesday. Until Tuesday, I'm Joel Norris signing off. We will see you then. For everybody out there, have a great rest of your weekend. Please and always stay the course.